So first it was the candy cube, and then it was the candy cube cuff, and now I am going to make the candy cube belt chain combination deal. Okay, let's go. First I have to make my cubes. There's a great tutorial by Carson Like Arson. I'll tag him, of course. I filled my cubes with beads I didn't really like. I really am trying to empty this container so I can fill it with something else. Anyway, I ended up making 11 cubes in total. I'll be quiet so you can hear. Hold on. Anyway, I made 11 cubes in total. You can make more or less depending on what you're trying to go for, but 11 was enough for me. Couldn't find my lobster clips, so we make do with what we have. Now I have to assemble everything. I ended up putting 5 beads between each cube to give it a little bit of space. I think it looks nice. And just like that, we're done. Only took me 3 days. I was really worried I was not gonna like how this came out, but I think it looks great. I think it looks amazing. Oh.
I'm gonna be showing you how to connect the panels of a candy purse. For the bottom, you just wanna take the flat side and put it on the second bead. I don't know how to explain it, but I found that it looks better that way than attaching it to the first bead. Sorry, I shook the camera. And that's what it looks like when it's done. And you do the exact same thing to attach the other panel. And for the sides, you just line it up and connect the beads that go together. I shook the camera again, that's my bad. And that's what it should look like. And for connecting the side to the bottom, you just attach it like a puzzle piece.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Kind.
Full tutorial. Make sure you have 3 sections of each of the secondary colors like so. 36 beads in total. Put them on your string, making a single exit out of your first secondary color. 3 of my prime. Skipping to beads. 2 dark, 1 light. Of secondary. 3 prime. Post videos needing to. Now you've made your spikes. You want to make sure you're colliding with each secondary. Connecting to each point. As you start to see each squiggle forming. Connecting to each of your points.
Father, forgive me for all my sins. When I meet your eyes, the devil he wins.
forming. Connecting each, squiggle together. Once done, tie off and cut tail. And you will have succeeded, making a DNA cup.
It's time for a flower tutorial. For a 5-petal flower like this, I like to do 18 beads for the stem, so you'll need 18 of these plus 5 more greens. I believe you'll need 10 yellows. I'm not 100% sure. We'll figure out later. And 40 beads of your petal color. And then some sort of bead for the center at the top. I usually use these butterflies, but I don't know, I might use something different in the end. Now we're going to start with the base right here, but this one is like the prototype, so it doesn't have what I actually do for the base. String 10 beads alternating from your center to base / stem color and tie off. To be honest, I do not remember where I went next, so we're just gonna go with what I think I would do now next. And we're gonna start the petals. Make sure you're coming out of a yellow bead, or whatever your center color is, and then string 3 and go through the next center / yellow bead. And now repeat that all around, and I'll meet you back. Now you'll probably recognize it starting to look like a star, but it's okay. We'll get that looking like petals in a second. Go through the next yellow bead right here, and then up through the first of the 3 on the first petal. Now string 5, and then go through the next end on your petal, and then go down and up and through the first one on the next petal. If your petal looks like this, it's okay. Just pop the little bead up. It's hard to do with one hand, and make sure it's tightened. There we go. It's hard to do with one hand. And then repeat this all the way around. Alright, now at the end, you've strung through this bead, and you go through the yellow, and you're going to come out through a green. I was wrong about the number of greens you need, so I'm sorry if you're not going to have enough. I think you're going to need about 10 more, maybe. But you're going to take one, string one on, and then go through the next green bead. Like so. I think it's like the even payout stitch, I think that's what it's called. And then just do that all around. Alright, string one last on, and then go through the next green and up through that one, the first one. And now go around again with 5 more beads. Now we're just going to string through all of the top beads and pull it tight. And we added no more beads, and I'm going to go ahead and tie it off here, and you can take a break, or you could just keep going. I tie it off so it can be more stable, so I can set it down and stuff. I'll continue this in part 2. Should have like a little middle piece. Yeah, part 2. Alright, part 2 of flower tutorial. We're gonna do the stem now. String on all 18 of your remaining beads, or however long you want the stem to be. And then we're gonna go back down through all of them except this top one we're not gonna go through again. Remember to keep the string tight, but you can like kind of pull it down 1 second. Like tighten it down to like here, and then once you get to the next stopping point, just keep tightening it. Like this. I don't know if this is making any sense, but you just want to make sure it's tight so that there's not like extra string and it's not like dangling. Now look at where this bead is coming, where the stem is coming out, and you're gonna go to like the next top bead. We'll skip one and the next one, and then string it through that. And it's obviously not centered, so we're gonna go back all the way up and then back all the way down. So now, God, this is complicated. We came out of here. We went down to here on our first round, and now we've gone all the way up again, and we've come down, and now we're gonna go into this one. I'm gonna attempt to show you what I did. Okay, so we started here. We added our 20 beads, we went all the way down, and we came and we went through skip one top bead through here. And then See, we came back up through just the same one, went through them again and down, and now we skipped one again and we went through here. So now that's pretty much it, and then we're gonna string up to the top. Yeah, so string up to the top, come through a yellow bead. If you haven't cut off your like beginning tail thing, you can do that now, or you could have done it earlier, I don't know. If you have one of those essential oil felt ball things, you could put that in here and make it a flower that smells good. If you have pipe cleaners, you could put one in here to make the tail like adjustable, like a tail, the stem adjustable. Now we're just gonna add one yellow bead in between each of these yellows. Now I'm just gonna string through all of those and pull them tight on the top. You could add another layer if you want it to be bulgier, higher, I don't know. Now you've got this tiny little hole, and you could leave it like this, but I like to cover it up with a different bead so there's like something like a little butterfly in the center. Alright, so string it on, and then we're gonna go through, skip one, the next one. This is pretty much the same thing we did on the stem, if that was confusing, and this is gonna be a lot easier to see. So now we've gone through from this one to this one, and we're gonna go through the butterfly again. You can see how it's coming in and out of the same bead. Now we're going to skip one and go through this one. Then just find somewhere to tie off, and you're done. Maybe a close-up, I don't know.
This is how to make a sugar ball. You'll need beads, optional yarn needle, some scissors, and some string. Tie 4 beads in a circle and cut off the rest, and then add your yarn needle to the end. Put a bead in each one of these spaces. This is what it should look like. Then add 2 beads in between each one of these points here. Again, add 2 beads in between each one of the gaps. Now add 3 beads in each one of these 4 gaps. Repeat with the same color, and you'll be doing this about 10 more times before we pretty much repeat the pattern. To close it off, we take 2 beads and put them in between where we would be putting the 3 beads. This is what it should look like. Now 2 more beads in between where you would be putting 3. Now we're going to decrease to 1 bead and put them on each corner. Now we're going to fill our sugar ball with leftover beads until about the halfway or right above the halfway mark. Now all we have left to do is add a bead in each one of these holes and then tie it off. That's it. That's how you make a sugar ball.
I don't pull my string so hard that it files my beads down. I'm very mindful about how hard I pull my string.